The old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Well, there's something I've always wanted to do, but I never thought I'd actually get the chance. I'm going to tell you about the scariest thing that ever happened to me. It was pouring rain. I was driving home from a trip with my girlfriend, and when I looked up, I saw the most amazing sight. About 100 yards ahead of me on the deserted country road was a woman standing in the rain. She was wearing a long white dress, and she seemed to be waiting for something. I slowed down and rolled down my window, and I yelled out to her, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need a ride?" But she didn't answer. She just stood there. I got a little closer, and I could see that she was very pale, and her face was hidden behind her long, wet hair. She didn't seem to react to the cars that were whizzing past her, and I felt a growing sense of unease. I wanted to help her, but at the same time, something was telling me to keep driving. I stopped the car, and I got out and walked over to her and asked her if she was sure she didn't want a ride. She just stared at me, and then slowly turned and opened the back door of the car and got in without saying a word. She sat down, and I could feel the wetness of her dress onto the seat. I got in the car and started the engine, and we drove off. The storm seemed to be getting worse, and I kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. At first, I couldn't see anything because of the rain and the darkness, but then I began to notice that she was gone. I slammed on the brakes and turned around in the middle of the road. I got out and searched the area, but I couldn't see her anywhere. The only thing I found was a small puddle of muddy water where she had been sitting. I drove the rest of the way home in a state of panic, not daring to look in the mirror or even turn around to see if she was in the back seat. When I finally arrived home, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I went to tell my wife about the strange woman, but when I described her, my wife looked at me with a knowing look on her face. She told me that the woman had been a local hitchhiker who had disappeared on a stormy night 20 years ago while hitchhiking along that very same road. To this day, people still report seeing her white dress on the side of the road, always on a stormy night, always asking for a ride. But if you give her one, she will never finish the journey.